foreign-trained graduates. Good afternoon. My name is Ebere Ainda. You're welcome to the News Outfit today on Rstv. Do you love and care about River State and her peace? Let's build and take her to greater heights. This is a task we must all accomplish. The federal government has announced plans to make the long-awaited National Housing Data Center fully operational by December. It was disclosed in a statement that the move is aimed at transforming Nigeria's housing and real estate policy landscape through credible, evidence-based data. Led by the Federal Ministry of Housing and Urban Development, the initiative unites public and private stakeholders to standardize housing data, monitor deficit reduction efforts, and guide policy and investment decisions. The chairman of the Technical Committee of the National Housing Data Program, Dr. Tofak Olatinwo, told newsmen that the NHDC will operate as a federated system, allowing states, ministries, departments, and agencies to feed data at regular intervals into a unified national platform. Now, Angola and Nigeria have expressed readiness to strengthen their bilateral relations as well as be at the front line of regional multilateral cooperation. This was disclosed at the Angola's 50th independence anniversary celebration in Abuja. The event themed Piece of Angola's History, told by protagonists, brought together diplomats, scholars, business leaders, and veterans to celebrate half a century of independence and friendship between Angola and Nigeria. Minister of Foreign Affairs, Ambassador Yusuf Tugar, reiterated Nigeria's commitment to strengthening relations with Angola. Tugar, who was represented at the event by the Deputy Director, Head, Southern African Affairs Division, Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Ambassador Nonyelo Afekalu, said the 49 years of diplomatic relations between Nigeria and Angola had witnessed tremendous achievements. Zell praised the long-standing brotherhood and mutual respect between Angola and Nigeria, describing the relationship as one founded on solidarity, shared struggles, and a deep sense of African unity. He specifically commended and awarded the Nigerian generals, now retired, who actively participated in the United Nations Observation Mission for the peace process and monitoring of the unification of the Angolan armed forces. Now, in politics, the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, has declared and returned Professor Chukwuma Soludo as winner of Saturday's governorship election in Anambra State. Soludo, who contested on the platform of All Progressive Grand Alliance APGA for re-election for a second term, was challenged by 15 other candidates, including rivals Prince Nicholas Okachukwu of All Progressive Congress APC, Paul Chukwuma of Young Progressive Party YPP, John Wosu of African Democratic Congress ADC, and Dr. George Magalu of Labour Party LP, among others. Gift Olushayo completes the report.
Declaring the final result of the election, the State Collation Officer and the Vice Chancellor of University of Benin, Professor Edoba B. Omoreji, announced the total tally for the election. According to him, the total registered voters in the state is 2,6,864, while announcing the total valid votes for the election as 584,054, while ejected votes stood at 11,244, and the total vote cast 595,298. Announcing vote garnered by the candidates, Omoreji announced that the APGA candidate, Professor Chukwuma Soludo, scored 422,664 as the highest figure in the election. The People's Democratic Party (PDP) candidate in the 2025 Anambra governorship election, Jude Ezenwafo, has expressed readiness to work with Governor Chukwuma Soludo for the progress of the state.
I therefore declare that Soludo Charles Chukwuma of the APGA, I will satisfy the requirement of the law and score the highest number of votes in this election, is hereby declared the winner and return elected.
The director of the Center for Democracy and Development (CDC) West Africa, Dr. Gaba Adamu, has said that while Professor Chukwuma Soludo's sweeping victory in the Anambra's governorship election demonstrates his dominance, it also exposes the weakness of Nigeria's opposition politics and the lack of issues-based campaign. Dr. Adamu said election outcomes showed that Soludo's claim of having opponents, not opposition, was justified. Dr. Adamu lamented that the campaign season lacked substance and ideological clarity. On report of vote buying, the CDC director warned that the practice has become an entrenched feature of Nigeria elections. Commenting on the performance of Professor George Amupitan, the newly appointed chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC), Dr. Adamu said it was too early to assess its impact. In another development, former Ekiti State Governor Ayodele Fayose has met with former President Olusegun Obasanjo behind closed doors at the Olusegun Obasanjo Presidential Library (OOPL) in Abeokuta, Ogun State. Fayose, who arrived at the OOPL complex, was received by the eyes of the former president before proceeding to Obasanjo's private, where the meeting was held. Although details of their discussion were not made public, sources close to the meeting described it as a private visit that lasted for over an hour. The former Ekiti State Governor, known for his outspoken political style and criticism of national leaders, has in recent time called for unity among certain political actors ahead of future political realignment. Gift Olusayo, Rstv Political News.
President Bola Tinubu has congratulated Governor Chukwuma Soludo on his victory at the November 8, 2025 gubernatorial poll in Anambra State. President Tinubu, in a personally signed congratulatory message, lauded re-elected Governor Soludo for bringing discipline, grace, and a fresh perspective to governance in Anambra State. He assured him of his unflinching support and continued collaboration between federal and the state governments. The president also did not fail to commend the new leadership of the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) for conducting what election observers have described as credible poll. The Federal Airports Authority of Nigeria has rolled out a comprehensive set of measures aimed at cleaning up operations and improving passenger experience across major terminals following Senator Osita Ozunaso's recent outburst over what he described as a national embarrassment caused by touting and begging at Nigerian airports. It rolled out the plans in a statement by the Minister of Aviation and Aerospace Development, Festus Keyamo. The minister explained that the framework, developed after an emergency high-level meeting involving Funds Managing Director Olubumi Kuku and other heads of agencies working within the airport, outlined Operation Air Clean, an initiative designed to eliminate corrupt practices, enhance transparency, and improve airport operations, particularly at Murtala Mohammed International Airport and the General Aviation Terminal in Lagos. Among the measures proposed is the dissolution of joint inspection tables by security agencies to be replaced with intelligence-driven passenger screening, individual profiling, and camera-based monitoring. And now the National Youth Service Corps says it has commenced the physical verification of credentials and travel documents for foreign-trained Nigerian graduates who were registered for the 2025 Batch C service year. The agency noted that it will hold from today, Monday, November 10 to Wednesday, November 12, 2025, across designated centers nationwide. According to a statement, the exercise is meant for prospective corps members whose documents are yet to be physically verified after completing their online registration. The statement listed the verification centers as follows: NYSC Secretariat, 2 Abakaliki Road, GRA Enugu; Shadawanka Military Barracks, Bauchi; NYSC Orientation Camp Kubwa, Abuja; Bukovo Military Barracks, Fagi; Airport Road, Kano; NYSC Orientation Camp, Iyana Ipaja, Lagos; NYSC Secretariat, New Ikiru Road, Oshobo; NYSC Secretariat, 40 Ikwere Road, Port Harcourt; Eagle Officers Mess, Jingia Military Barracks, Gusau Road, Sokoto; and NYSC Secretariat, Federal Secretary Complex, Yola. The Corps added that all participants must present the original copies of their credentials and travel documents as uploaded online during registration. Do you love and care about River State and peace? Let's build and take her to greater heights. This is a task we must all accomplish. And now, still ahead on the news, Cameroon, Chiroma gives authorities 48-hour ultimatum to release post-election detainees, and protesters call for action as pollution suffocates New Delhi. Details of this and more will come when we return from the break. Do stay.
I need the police that can respond to emergencies first.
I want the equipment I need to do my job.
I want a police that won't harass or arrest me for no just reason.
I want to be valued for my work, not feared by honest people.
I want a police that won't ask me anything for the boys.
I want a decent salary that is paid on time.
If it happen with good laws,
Proper funding,
Training.
And cooperation.
if it happen,
If it happens.
If it happen.
This is Rstv World News. We bring you world-class news, accurate, first-hand, entertaining, balanced analysis. Rstv, Channel 22 Port Harcourt.
Corruption not in my country.
What you want to buy?
potato, small baskets.
I want plantain. But why your plantain can't hard like this?
Madam, now the outside hard. Inside there, it is very soft.
Madam, wallahi make I no buy am. Make I show you something. What? What in be this one? Madam, this one now the chemical where they put am for the plantain make I ripe am.
So you dey put chemical for plantain where people go chop?
No water, no be chemical.
Water. You know say Pela I don't talk and say water and not be enemy. Drink am.
Where you collect that water, drink am.
I just stop finish. See my belly. After it don't big. I just stop drink water finish. I don't
drink am. Wait, you drink am now. I dey sell am plantain, I go come put am for chemical because I want to make a ripe go. That's why I talk now corruption. Corruption. Not be for this kaswa, come not be for this country. Now me talk am.
Corruption not in my country.
This message is brought to you by the Akinfade Foundation, with support from the MacArthur Foundation and with broadcast support from the Rivers State Television.
This is Rstv World News. We bring you world-class news, accurate, first-hand, entertaining, balanced analysis. Rstv, Channel 22 Port Harcourt.
Thanks for standing by. And now the rest of the news. Troops of Operation Hadinkai OPHK, Joint Task Force Northeast, have recorded another major success in the ongoing counter-terrorism and counter-insurgency operations in Borno State, rescuing 86 kidnapped victims and arresting 29 others over the supply of logistics to criminals. The media information officer of the Joint Task Force Northeast, Operation Hadinkai, Lieutenant Colonel Sani Oba, who confirmed this in a statement, said troops of the 135 Special Forces Battalion under Sector 2 OPHK encountered Boko Haram ISWAP terrorists at Duse Kura after discovering that terrorists were abducting civilians and vehicles along the Buratai-Kamuya Road. According to the statement, a search of the area led to the discovery of 11 makeshift terrorist structures and the rescue of 86 kidnapped victims comprising men, women and children. Some of the items recovered from the criminals include one AK-47 rifle, 5 magazines with 73 rounds, 4 PKT ammunition belts, 5 civilian vehicles, 5 motorcycles, 8 bicycles and 2 logistic tricycles. And now in business, the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, has restated that the ongoing recapitalization of banks is not merely a compliance directive, but a bold strategic move to strengthen the resilience, inclusiveness, and credibility of the country's financial system and position it to power Nigeria's $1 trillion economic ambition by 2030. Speaking at the 3-day retreat of the Association of Corporate Affairs Managers of Banks held in Abeokuta, Ogun State, the CBN Deputy Governor in charge of financial system stability, Philip Ikeazo, said The recapitalization policy embodies a statement of resilience and ambition designed to equip Nigeria's bank to withstand a shock, expand credit to the real sector, and play a catalytic role in driving inclusion.
According to Ikezo, the retreat theme, Banks Recapitalization and Beyond, directly aligns with one of the Apex Bank's most important policy priorities, enhancing the soundness and competitiveness of the financial system. Noting that 2030 was only 5 years away, he urged industry stakeholders to be bold and deliberate, calling for collective resolve and ingenuity to make the vision a reality. On the rationale for the exercise, Ikezo explained that the recapitalization follows a period by global financial volatility, inflationary pressures, and exchange rate realignment. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has wooed investors to make Nigeria their destination of choice, stating that his administration's policy clarity has attracted $5 billion in new manufacturing, fintech, and energy investments. President Tinubu, who was represented by the Minister of State for Industry, Trade and Investment, Senator John Owan Ino, stated this when he opened the Lagos International Trade Fair, where he declared that Nigeria must not commerce and industry, LCCI, with the theme connecting business, creating value. According to him, only nations that act with clarity and courage will define the future. The Nigerian exchange NGX ended trading last week on a weaker note, extending the bearish trend as investors continued profit-taking and cautious repositioning across major sectors. The negative performance, according to analysts, reflected renewed sell pressures across the banking, consumer goods and industrial goods sectors as investors reacted to mixed earning results and tight liquidity conditions in the broader economy. A review of the market performance showed that about 2.8 trillion naira was lost in the equities market. Specifically, the market capitalization, which represents the total value of the shares on the NGX, declined to 94.998 trillion naira from 97.830 trillion naira in the previous week. Favor Abu, Rstv Business News.
And now on foreign scene, Cameroon's opposition continues to contest the result of the latest presidential election. Presidential runner-up Issa Chiroma Bakari gave authorities a 48-hour ultimatum to release all prisoners arrested in the protest that followed the re-election of Paul Biya. Ruth Friday has the report.
Chiroma accused the government of state gangsterism and state terrorism. He also asked authorities to stop practices that he said include ethnic purges. Chiroma came second in the presidential election with 35.19% of the votes, finishing behind Paul Biya, who scored 53.66% according to official results. But the opposition leader considers himself the president-elect of Cameroon. Crowds have demonstrated in New Delhi calling for action as the Indian capital faces another winter engulfed in smog. Pollution levels in New Delhi surged again this morning as the city was immersed in a thick smog. The annual degradation of air quality in the capital to harmful levels has led to rave protests. Demonstrators mounted the rally at the city's India Gate monument to demand action over the lethal pollution that envelopes the area each year. Crowds held up banners and chanted slogans while some disrupted traffic. Police officers detained some of the protesters by putting them on buses and dispersed others. A deal aimed at ending the U.S. government shutdown has passed the Senate, paving the way for the record-breaking impasse to be broken. After a weekend of negotiations in Washington, a minority of Democrats joined with Republicans and voted in favor of an agreement. The vote is a procedural first step towards passing a compromise to fund the government since it ran out of money 1st October. It will need to clear several more hurdles, including a vote from the House of Representatives before federal employees and services return. But it is the first serious sign of progress after 40 days of deadlock. The current shutdown is the longest on record in the U.S., and until this weekend, it appeared that Republican and Democratic lawmakers were locked in a stalemate. Many government services have been suspended since October, and around 1.4 million federal employees are on unpaid leave or working without pay. The shutdown has had wide-ranging impact on a variety of services, including U.S. air travel and food benefits for 41 million low-income Americans. Ruth Friday, Rstv Foreign News.
And now on entertainment, calls have intensified for billionaire politician and Senator Ned Nwoko to step down from his position amid his ongoing marital dispute with actress Regina Daniels. Winnie Belson takes it from here.
The controversy began after Regina accused Ned Nwoko of ordering the arrest of her brother, Sammy. Following this, actress Regina Onu took to Instagram, demanding that Nwoko resign temporarily to allow an independent investigation into serious allegations, including sexual coercion, unlawful detention, and substance abuse. Onu also urged the Nigerian Police Force, Ministry of Justice, and Human Rights Group to step in and investigate the matter thoroughly. Adding to the tension, Regina's brother alleged that Nwoko's late son died in the UK from heart failure and seizures linked to excessive drug intake. The situation continues to spark public debate, with many Nigerians calling for accountability and transparency in the unfolding scandal. Popular street hop singer Habib Okikola, known as Portable, has received his plans to return to school despite his fame and success in the music industry. In a video shared on his Instagram page, the Zazuze Krona said he wants to further his education so his children won't be mocked for having an illiterate father. Portable explained that education is important for personal growth and professionalism, noting that it will help him manage his career better and earn more respect in the society. The singer also shared that he already holds an ordinary national diploma (OND) from Kwara State Polytechnic, but never collected his certificate after completing the program. According to him, his decision to continue schooling is driven by a desire to learn more and set a good example for his children and fans. Winnie Benson, Rstv Entertainment News.
Attendees of the two-day second edition of the Renew Fight Championship, organized in conjunction with Renew Empire, went home with greater expectations of success and productivity. Chief Executive Officer of Renew Fight Championship, Gospel Obolo, said the group is internationally recognized to train and raise great boxers in contemporary times. Gotswanele reports that the first Pro Mixed Martial Arts Operators Summit was well attended with stakeholders. His report.
Demonstration of the arts embodied by David Emmanuel and Victor Doga Ephraim Onwunia was up against Uzoma Chidebere, while Victoria Odak faced Busari Ehiola, counting the interest of spectators from neighboring homes. Gospel Obolo said the essence of the training and fight sessions was practically to provide requisite professional world-class skills for boxing championships, create platforms to expose Nigerian youth to the global map, produce young successors, create job opportunities, and make them become stars in various aspects of the arts. He promised to sustain the championship as he called for the collaborative efforts of stakeholders to achieve set targets.
Is to harness the talents and from our fighters. And now that we are internationally recognized, our aims and objective is to make sure that the young fighters that we have, the athletes and the coaches, they can use our dream to go outside and do better. Already, Nigeria is doing well in international. We have fighters in UFC and EFC that are champions already, and we hope that we'll get more of them that will be going through ROFC.
Martial artists who said they have bigger fights in the future shared their views.
You know, tonight, I'm so happy tonight. You know, it's not my power, but it's by God. So I want to tell God, thank you, and thank you, and thank you so much, God.
I'm so excited and I'm speechless because I worked hard enough for this. And to God be the glory, I came here and execute what I came here for.
Medical team lead of the Renew Fight Championship officials, Dr. Ozu Frederick, and the president, Kickboxing Association of Nigeria, Agama Yeroland, discussed that the summit was to keep officials abreast with international regulations to avoid disqualifications.
Our responsibility to ensure that before, during, and even after the event, we ensure that our athletes have the
shots. In that way, we are able to sieve them and be able to collect those people that are up there and able to meet up with the international standard.
Ghost Power Anele, Rstv News.
Now still on sports, Super Eagles of Nigeria have opened their training camp in Rabat, Morocco against Gabon for World Cup qualifiers. Sports correspondent Supriye Jaja shares more detail.
Super Eagles players of Gabon at 5 p.m. local time Nigeria at the Prince Hatia Molia Elam Stadium in Rabat, Morocco. The winner of the Nigeria-Gabon fixture will proceed to the finals where they will face the winner between Congo